Bad day? Do you feel surrounded by negative people? Sometimes it feels like negative self-talk or encounters are contagious. You might set out on a good foot with a positive attitude, and minutes later you're feeling exhausted by solely trying to avoid the inevitable encounter with something that feels like it's ruined your day. Just like the flu, your attitude and feelings can be contagious to those around you. When I was a sales manager, one of my jobs was to cold call on 30 clients a day. If this sounds painful and uncomfortable, in many cases, I can confirm that yes, it was. People are not always thrilled to feel like a fish out of water as you spew your sales pitch all over them. Business professionals have tight schedules and do not enjoy drop-by visits without an appointment. Would you be surprised if I told you I found people to be short, rude, or even mean to me? Of course not. It sounds about right. How could I expect anything else? It's my job to sell them something. Products I was selling don't get sold with appointments, plain and simple. Therefore, I was setting myself up for disaster and success, all at the same time. The reason I could do my job well is because I learned emotional maturity. Of course, if I allowed a rude encounter to ruin my day, then it would. That is a secret to being happy and successful. Know yourself, understand your surroundings. Be in control of your emotions. We are different and our buttons can be pushed in all different ways. Here's an example for you. When I felt like in a day I'd hit a roadblock, I would call up my good friend Tim Hill. Tim was an associate of mine who I trusted. Tim and I had a lot in common and we trusted each other. I also felt like Tim had some insight and some wisdom and experience that I was lacking at the time. He felt the same about me. Having a balanced friend or associate at work is a great way to stay positive. Tim and I would vent certain situations to each other, allowing us to put things in perspective so that we could get back on track in a positive light. This behavioral adjustment meant we rejected the notion that we were victims and that one person couldn't ruin our day. Having a victim mindset makes it impossible to be productive or happy, at home or at work. How can you do your job well if in your mind your work life is unfair and totally out of your control? We all have challenges at work, and you share these challenges with your coworkers. It's okay to vent and share your problems, but it needs to be kept in perspective. You need to know that no one is perfect. We naturally have emotions and feelings towards adverse situations. It's healthy to tune into emotional feelings and accept that even top producers have struggles. There is a huge difference between venting and dwelling. With venting, you get it off your chest and you move on. Dwelling is toxic because instead of living an experience just one time, you end up living it 100 times. I would surround myself with negative people at work to make me feel not alone. I would seek these people out because I knew they agreed with my position. Doing so, I created a miserable work life for myself. Do not enable yourself to feel like this. Put yourself above the negative victim thinking. Like me, the decision can change in one day. When I decided enough was enough, it was liberating. I realized that life was hard, but I didn't need to always feel helpless. I became happy and hopeful. This may seem too simple, but it worked for me, and it will work for you. I came to realize the real reason for my failure at work was actually because I wasn't taking responsibility for myself and the quality of my work. I first stopped the blame game. If I wanted to make more money and get promoted, then I needed to produce more in a positive way. Work on positively solving work problems instead of just dwelling on them.